Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Magista Onda 2. Now this is the second takedown model in the new Magista lineup, and it has a retail price of $75 US, $105 less than the model above it, which of course is the Onda 2 with the mid-cut design and dynamic fit collar. Now I will argue that the Onda 2 is a much better quality product overall, but what you're getting at the $75 price point with the Onda 2 honestly isn't so bad. I think there are options to consider when you're at $80 or so. I wouldn't just pull the trigger on a pair of Onda 2s right away, but in comparison to other shoes at this price point, there's nothing about these that I think is particularly cheap. So in today's video, we are going to be, of course, taking a closer look at the shoes themselves, talking tech specs, quality, taking a look at the performance aspects of the shoe, taking a look at how much they weigh, and of course how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about the Onda 2, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, go ahead, there'll be a little pop-up on screen and a link down below in the description. If you go ahead and click that, it'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $75 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, go ahead and check out those links. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk tech specs with the Onda 2. Now this is the $75 price point shoe like I just mentioned, and at that price point you can't expect too much. The upper is made from a trophy synthetic material, obviously not Flyknit, obviously not Kangalite like you'll find on higher end models, and not the same synthetic that you're going to find on the Onda 2, which is the model above this either. This is noticeably cheaper than all the models above it, but at the same time doesn't necessarily feel that cheap, if that makes any sense. It's got good softness to it, it's decently flexible, it doesn't feel bad on your feet, but again, it's not a premium synthetic by any means. It does also have the texturing from the little bumps there in the kind of heat mapped areas on the upper. Unlike the Onda 2, which if you guys saw my video on that particular shoe, the texturing on that particular upper is actually punched out through the inside. So when you reach your hand inside the shoe and feel where the dots are positioned, you can actually kind of put your finger inside of the individual dots because they're legitimately punched out. On this particular shoe, this is just extra thickness added to the surface of the upper to give it the texturing. So as far as actually feeling the sensation of these dots on your foot, you don't necessarily get that with the Onda 2 like you will get with pretty much all the models above it, just because these dots really don't have the ability to compress and make the upper flat against your foot. It's kind of, like I said, just artificial texturing that they added to the surface that's going to have a minimal impact on the overall feel on the ball. No ACC, obviously, being that this is a takedown model. It does have a central lacing system. The laces are pushed ever so slightly to the medial side, but kind of center out more towards the top. It does have a traditional tongue construction, not one piece like what you're going to find on the other low-cut model, the high-end Opus 2, but that's not necessarily a big deal. The tongue is made from the same synthetic as the rest of the shoe and then is backed by this foam material. Low-cut, obviously, internal plastic heel counter. You do have a smooth synthetic leather liner on the inside with a decent amount of padding. The insole's fully glued in, which is kind of fully expected at this particular price point. And then moving on to the sole plate, it is a TPU plastic, nothing too fancy. And then of course you do get the new stud pattern, which is consistent throughout the entire lineup. And the stud pattern itself is quite good. It works very well on firm natural grass. The emphasis was on rotational traction in terms of the overall design. Not too far off from what we got from the previous Magista stud pattern, a little bit lower to the ground, I would argue a little bit more stable as well, but ultimately the performance is very, very good and nothing to complain about by any means. So if this is the only shoe that you have access to or one of the shoes that you're interested in at your particular budget price point at $75, I don't think this is a bad option. If you are buying online, please check what's on sale because it's very, very possible that you may be able to get a higher end or higher quality shoe at the same price versus paying full retail for the latest takedown. And another word of advice, when you are buying lower end shoes, leather generally tends to be better than synthetic just because leather will always be soft after wear time, whereas synthetic will kind of maintain its feel whether it's cheap or not. So a cheap shoe will always feel cheap. a leather shoe can always feel soft, I guess is the best way to put it. So again, while I don't think these feel stiff or uncomfortable or particularly cheap at this particular price point, I'm just saying consider all of your options when you're shopping at about $80 or so, because you might have more options than you think. As far as weight is concerned, the Onda 2 is lighter than you might expect just based on how they look. So I'm gonna weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. We're gonna throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.6 ounces, the equivalent of 215 grams, which happens to be the exact same weight as the Onda 2, down to the exact gram, which is kind of interesting because from a weight standpoint, these aren't any lighter or any heavier when compared to the other high-end models in the lineup, or at least the Onda 2. The Opus 2 is a little bit lighter, but nonetheless, these don't feel heavy on your feet, which I think is a major plus at this particular price point. And again, if you are looking at these, weight should not be an issue. They definitely won't have a heavy feel on your feet. As far as aesthetics go, the Onda 2 does look cheaper in comparison to all the other models in the Magista line. The colorway, this being the launch one, you do have a Volt Yellow base, and you do have the heat mapping graphic to a certain extent. It has the orange, and obviously it gets darker in the more focused areas on the two spots on the shoe, but it doesn't have the pink at the very center for whatever reason. Probably because they wanted to differentiate the higher end models from the lower end ones, if that makes any sense. Black Nike swoosh on either side, the black Magista branding on the back, obviously Volt Yellow laces, Volt Yellow tongue, the heel liner and insole is that neo turquoise color, and then on the bottom, the sole plate is solid Volt Yellow in color, with some of the studs being orange as well. So overall, I don't think they look that bad. Again, at $75, you can't expect too much from pretty much anything visually at this price point, but nonetheless, I don't think they look all that cheap. They don't look that bad either. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit, and of course what the sizing is like. All right, so here is a look at the Onda 2s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock Volt Yellow laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of neon yellow with black dots premium SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You'll find a little pop-up on screen as well as a link in the description that'll take you directly to the website. So again, if you're interested in a pair, go ahead and check it out. Now in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're actually pretty comfortable shoes from right out of the box. The same general shape of the shoe is obviously what you're going to find with the other Magista models, even though this one is significantly cheaper, but the shape is, like I said, still pretty similar overall. It's got the same base to it. The upper material itself, while it doesn't feel premium, it doesn't feel uncomfortable by any means. It's got some softness to it, it's decently flexible, and it will get more flexible over time as well, kind of as you wear them in. And again, there's not too much to complain about in regards to comfort. They fit pretty well, and it's a comfortable shoe given the price point that it falls into. As far as width is concerned, it's got some decent width to it as well. It's one of those shoes that I will say will fit most people. They're not super wide, but again, I think they'll fit most people as long as you don't have excessively wide feet. And as far as sizing is concerned, they run a half size small just like the rest of the Magista line. So sizing is consistent from high end to low end with the new Magista line. So if you're coming from a previous Magista model, I'd recommend sticking with the same size. I'm wearing a size 9.5 US, which is a half size larger than I would normally wear. And that's just because the Magistas tend to run about a half size small. So again, if you're coming from a previous Magista model, stick with the same size. Sizing is the same, and if you're coming from most other shoe lines, I'd recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Nike Magista Onda 2. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can go ahead and check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link in the description, or you can click the I in the corner of the screen. And on that page, you will find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $75 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, go ahead and check out that review page. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.